Christoph with Transformative Management Solutions, and today we're going to talk about basic task statusing in Microsoft Project. We've only got two things to look at today. The first is how to identify those tasks in your schedule that need status, and the second is how to update the status of those tasks that need it. Let's take a look. First thing we're going to do is look at what are the types of tasks that need statusing, or don't need statusing as the case may be. The first type, tasks that do not require an update. If it's complete or inactive, we really don't need to worry about it. Then we've got tasks that require that you make some sort of update. Anything that should have started but hasn't, you need to take a look at that. Any task that's in process, at a minimum, you're going to want to update the progress. And then anything that has an actual start or actual finish in the future, that's an invalid status that would throw an error during a health check. Lastly, tasks that may or may not require an update is pretty much any task scheduled to start in the future. The closer that task is to the status date, the more closely you need to look at it to see if maybe it's actually already started or if its duration needs to be adjusted. Okay, and two things that I like to do to get started. Well, first, we absolutely have to set our status date. So I'll go to the Project tab, Status Date, and we just set the date for our status as of date. That helps us calculate all these other task statuses. And then I like to set up a formula field to classify the tasks. So I call it task status. In custom fields, I use a task field. In this case, I'm using text 2. And I use a formula. Now this formula is really hard to see inside of projects. What it did is I put it here in Notepad just so you can see it on screen, screenshot it and type it out later. Here's a link to more information about project functions, or you can Google that up. But the switch formula, what it does is it has a set of conditions and values, and as soon as it finds a true condition, it puts that value in the field. So the important thing to remember is order matters. It checks them one at a time. The first time it finds a true condition, that's the value it puts in the field. So with that, we've got all of our tasks classified and ready to go apply some status. For basic task statusing, there's only 4 things you really need to do. Set an actual start, set an actual finish, change the remaining duration, or mark the progress on a task. What we're looking at here is a decision tree to help you look at each type of task and decide which of these status actions to apply to that task. I think the best way to show this is just to show it. So let's first look at tasks that should have started but haven't. We go to our sample schedule, we go to our task status, and we can filter on tasks that haven't started but either should be finished or should be in process. And we've got 2 of them. Task 3 here was supposed to have started and finished about a week ago based on our project status date of the 31st. And we'll say that that one finished on time and started on time. And all we have to do in that case is update the actual start and the actual finish. That'll update our % complete and our remaining duration. For task 4, well, we talked to our tech lead and he said, yeah, it started March 24th. So we put an actual start in of March 24th. And we say, has it finished yet? They say no. We say, okay. We'll mark it on track to get the % complete bar up to today. And then we say, does it all look good? And their tech lead says, yes. And you say, so in my meeting with the project manager 30 minutes from now, I'm going to be able to tell him that you said this task is going to be done in 1 day. And that tech lead's going to come back to you and say, you know what, you better give me a couple more days. So we change the remaining duration to 3. And you say, that sounds smart. Notice when you did that, it's changing the % complete for you. You've marked it in progress up to the status date, and now when you change remaining duration, it just changes the forward-looking estimate. All right? So with the not started out of the way, we go to in process tasks. Let's look at those. Come back up to our task status, and now we can look at the in process. We'll take a look at task 4. Now this one we had just status, so we'll mark it as green to say that we've already statused it and it looks good. This guy is in process, has an actual start, should be finished. Well, let's say everything went great and it was finished. And we will go back and mark that as we have statused it, so we remember. I'll go back and get the other ones after this. And then this one is in process. It's got an actual start on the 24th. First, let's mark it on track to show progress up to today. And we ask our tech lead, is this going to finish in 4 days? They say, absolutely. Looks good. Great. We say status is okay. Fantastic. The next type of task we want to look at is actual start or actual finish in the future. Come back, go to our filter. We say we only have an actual start in this sample. This task starts in the future, but it says it has an actual start. That's not possible. Somebody made a mistake. That somebody is obviously me, so let's hide the evidence, delete the actual start, and say, okay, now we look good. So going back, now the last type of status we want to look at is any near-term task, in particular any future task, but stuff that starts in the near term. And we make sure that it hasn't started and that the remaining durations are correct. So let's look at starts in future and starts in the next 30 days. All right, and we're just confirming that all these are still on track to start when they are supposed to start, and that everything is going to end up taking as long as we originally thought. In this case, just to put a little variety in, we talked to our tech lead, and task 6 now tells us it's going to take 7 days, not 5. With that, we have statused all of these. We go back. We've gone through our tree. We've done our basic status actions. Let's pull the filter off. There's one here that I forgot to update the status. This is just a self-reminder. It's good. It is completed. And now everything has valid status. It's either completed or it's in progress and marked up to the progress state, this schedule status, and ready to go. And that's it for basic task statusing. Remember, it's most important to take care of those tasks that require status, anything that would throw a schedule health check violation. And then after you've done that, next most important is to look at near-term tasks to make sure they haven't actually already started or you don't need to change the remaining duration. If you found this information useful, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.